High-Tec, Low-Tec. You have been invited as a representative of social sustain tech. What does that mean?
I think the term is maybe one of the best example would be our waste to energy plant, which is sort of maybe some of the most impressive technology and sophisticated technology ever being built. It extracts every possible little molecule of pollution out of the smoke itself, but at the same time we bring this technology, or we try to bring the technology to the people to create sort of social events around it. So for example, creating the ski slope on top of the bringing people to the power plant itself, learning about the technology behind it, and then as this final gesture to show people what pollution is, because pollution is very intangible. It's, you know, nobody knows what is pollution. You cannot, but in a few years you can start almost as you're doing to your kids when there's a thunder, you know, count 10 seconds and you know the thunder is like 10 seconds or 10 kilometers away. So in this sense, you could say that in the future you'll be able to count seconds between the smoke rings, and in that way you start understanding the scale of pollution. And in that sense, if one day the pollution suddenly or the smoke ring starts coming out very fast, you know that something changed the behavior of people, or maybe it slows down over a period of years. You know that people have started to use less trash, essentially, or throw things away and maybe reusing stuff instead.
You've got a project in Basel, the
Yes.
Transitlager building. Can you tell us something about that?
Yes, it's a very interesting project. It's essentially an old industrial building where we are placing sort of 3 levels of housing on top. And because this industrial building is quite deep, we are placing these sort of rotated small cubes on there to allow for daylight coming into to sort of the core of the building itself. So then on top, the 5 sort of rotated cubes are creating sort of spectacular views of the city, because we all know that sort of living in a straight facade, you have sort of a limited view. But when you are on a corner, you really get sort of more than almost like a 180-degree view of the city itself. So it's really about trying to sort of also bring the nature closer to the people living in this building by introducing sort of roof terraces on the top of the building, but also in this overlap between the old industrial building and the new houses on top.